Hey guys, I am so sorry. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm sorry I'm late. My nephew had football practice. They're in tournaments, so they had a game. They have a game tomorrow or this weekend, and the coach, of course, called a walkthrough practice. So I apologize. And listen, I'm in my truck. I'm not in the camper this evening, because of course I'm on auntie duty and I'm running. Hey Mo, what's up? So let's get started because we're not gonna go very long tonight. Because for one, they're having a walkthrough practice, so they won't be out here real long. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna get right on this subject. So I always like to start off this way. Say, hey, good evening. Thank you guys for being here. I always go ahead and get started because I always post the videos after we're done. And a lot of people come back and they comment then when they have time to watch. But I want to try to stay consistent with the time that I get started, and I go every weekend. But as you can see, the time has changed. Weather's getting cold, so I won't really be in the camper like I was before. But I'm going to keep going with camper conversations. So thank you, first of all, to all the fellas who always take the time to interact and come to the group and give their opinions and their side of things. I love that, because a lot of times it's always the ladies who are doing that, giving a lot of feedback. But in this group, we get a lot of fellas talking, so I appreciate it. You guys send me a lot of inbox things to post, and I appreciate that. So everything that's posted doesn't come directly from me. It doesn't come directly from my heart. But I want everybody to be able to share freely. So let's get started. I always like to say before I start, I am not a relationship expert. I don't profess to be one. I don't claim to be one. All I am is a black woman living this life in this world and doing the damn thing. And I'm enjoying myself. All right? So let's go. So this group is for people, if you're an adult, if you have loved, been in love, been married, been divorced, never been married, any of those things, are single, this group is for you. It is for single, I'm sorry, my page went out. It is for single, married, courting, engaged adults. That's what this group is for. It's a place that we can come and we can give our thoughts and our opinions, and we can help each other out, because there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new going on in this world. There's nothing that you're going through that someone has not gone through before. So if we can come and support and help each other out, that's what we do here. So the topic tonight, and I need y'all to hone in on this, right? I need y'all to make your comments and make your voice known. The topic tonight is, why can't we get this thing together? And why don't we just get off this train? Hey sis, hey Yolanda, why can't we get this thing together? And why don't we just get off this train? Like, Corey, what's up, girl? Why can't we seem to get it together? So I'm coming from this perspective. So you meet somebody, you're in a relationship, you're getting to know this person, y'all together, y'all doing well, life goes, she jumped right into it, ego maybe. Life goes on, you learn each other, you decide, you know what, I don't know if I want to be with this person, or I don't know if this is the right person for me. So, you make a decision, you know what, let me just move on. Let me just move on from this relationship. Let me just move on from this person. And for whatever reason, you find yourself back in a continual circle with this particular person. You find yourself going back and forth. You say it's done, it's over with, I'm tired of the ups and downs, I'm tired of the back and forth. What makes me come back to dealing with this person? Fear. Hi. She said ego. My sister on it. That's my sister Claudette, y'all. she is already in it. Fear. Fear is a good one. Ego, maybe, she said. So let's go with the fear one. I like the fear one because the fear one makes sense. A lot of people tend to stay in relationships because of fear. They stay in relationships because they fear being without. They fear moving on. They fear, okay, if I leave this person, somebody else will get them and they'll be better with that person. Or, all kinds of things and reasons come about to cause someone to stay on that train. I was having this conversation earlier today. This is what brought this topic out, y'all. So, why can't we get this thing together? And why don't we just get off this train? Hey, Yolanda. Being lonely. Yes, ma'am. That's another one. That's a good one. Fear, loneliness, low self-esteem. Corey said fear, being alone. Yolanda said lonely. Most definitely. These are, what's some more things? Some other things that cause us to stay in relationships and keep on this revolving cycle. So what if, let me put this scenario out. What if you never really got into the relationship with this person? It never really got deep. It never was solidified that y'all are really together. Y'all never had a chance to really get solid, right? But yet, they continue to come around. Hey, Corey. They continue to come around. And they continue to be a presence in your life some type of way. Like when you say, okay, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm tired of that. They're not for me. Just not what I need or what I want. And time goes by. And then you find yourself making that phone call or accepting that phone call or sending a little text. Allison, what up, cousin? Or sending that text. And here you go again. And there you are again. Why do we do that? Why do we get into situations where we don't just cut it off? The ladies already threw out some good ones. Loneliness, fear, not sure of what's out there. And, some people find themselves staying in relationships because it's what's comfortable. It's what's comfortable. And no matter if they're being let down by their mate or it's not the most healthy mentally or whatever for them, they say, okay, you know what? This is what I'm used to. So if this is what I'm used to, maybe I should just stick with this. Claudia says, when you help build someone for so long, you don't want someone to benefit from it. Yep, most definitely. That's one of the things I was saying coming in. Corey said, maybe because after being with someone so long, you want to prove to yourself you didn't waste your time. There are so many reasons, y'all, that we find. These are some good ones. There's so many reasons that we find to stay in relationships that aren't conducive to our growth. There's so many excuses we make up and reasons that we find to do that. But I want to go back a little bit to what my sister said. She said self-esteem. Self-esteem. So, I feel like I'm the bomb. Just period. I do. I feel like I'm the bomb. And I feel like I'm the bomb, not because I feel like that I'm better than everybody else or there's no one greater than me, or that I'm perfect and I don't cause any issues or any problems within my relationships. That's not why I feel like I'm the bomb. I don't feel like that I can't be wrong, because I can be wrong. I can be wrong. And the bigger thing is admitting that you're wrong. A lot of times we don't want to admit, hey, Candace, a lot of times we don't want to admit when we're wrong. And when we don't admit when we're wrong, it just causes a continuous cycle of problems. Hence this subject right here, a continuous cycle of problems. That could be the reason. But when you love yourself, it puts you on a different level. of expectations for people when it comes to them being in your life. When you love yourself, you require things that won't just let you accept any old thing. When you love yourself, it allows you to say, you know what, when I'm not being treated well, I deserve so much better. It allows you to move forward. Self-worth. It gives you self-worth. Exactly. So y'all know me. I like to be honest and transparent, right? I have not always felt this way. I have not always felt this way. I have not always loved myself. My self-esteem was not always at this level. It's something that had to build for me. It's something that had to build for me. Like, I was always either too skinny or too tomboyish or too dark or whatever, right? So growing up, you hear things, people say things, and it gets into your subconscious, and it makes you feel a certain way about yourself, right? And when you feel a certain way about yourself, you tend to accept attention and whatever you get from people, in particular the opposite sex, because the opposite sex tends to be the one that makes you feel your best. They tell you you're pretty, or they tell you you fine, or they tell you, you know, I like you, or they tell you I love you. And, you know, if that's your choice in life. Now, there's some people that their choice, they deal with the same sex. We do have gay and lesbians in this world, and that's that your choice, your preference is yours. So whoever floats your boat, whoever makes you feel that way, we look to those people to big up us, to big us up, you know, and make us feel special. But when you have something on the inside, when you realize, I don't need your accolades to feel good about myself. I don't need you to affirm me to feel good about myself. We all want to hear validated. Yes, sis, thank you. We all want to hear, that I like you, that you're great, that I love you, that I appreciate you. We all want to hear that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be at a point where it doesn't require someone else to tell you that to feel it. Corey asked the question, how did I get there? Honestly, Corey, I got there because I got tired of being in relationships where I was not feeling my best. I got tired of depending on others to make me feel my best. I got a relationship with the Most High. I got a relationship with God. Not the one my mom had. Not the one my dad had. Not the one people were telling me to have. But when I took the time to get a relationship with God for myself, and I saw how special I was to Him, the one who created me, and I saw how important I was to Him, and how He told me how bad I was, and how fine I was, and how smart I was, and how cool when I say the Lord gave me my confidence, y'all, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. That's where it came from. And I realized in understanding, hey, Rebecca, I realized in understanding how perfect I am in His image. I'm sorry, y'all, we're going to lose light if I keep doing that. How perfect I am and how I'm made after His image. I started feeling like, what? What? You don't want to be with me? Cool. You don't like me? Cool. You don't think I'm special and important? Cool. And when I started doing that, y'all, my self-esteem was boosted. My confidence was boosted. I walked out on faith. I did things that I did not expect. I have my second building that I bought for my business, for my daycare, we opened up last year through the pandemic, y'all. Like, we got licensed through the state through the pandemic. I opened up the second building. And we have enough land now. I have enough land now that I'm going to build a third facility on my property. Praise God. But I am the person that does not take no for an answer. Like, I don't understand that word. No, I can't do what? No, what? But my daddy said, my father said. So, yo, that's how it built for me, Corey. I started believing what was told to me by my creator. And that's how I got more and more to the point. Hey, Rebecca. I got more and more to the point and position where nothing a man could do or say would make me or break me. Now, understand, again, we want our significant other to want us, to love us, to cherish us, to need us. We definitely want that. But when you have something deep embedded inside, when relationships don't work, as long as you're doing your part, you got to do your part. We can't just say, oh, it ended. Oh, well, my daddy got me. Because the father don't be with you when you're lonely and you want that touch by that man. No, he does be with you, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Nigel, where's your mom? Nigel is one of my daycare babies, y'all. He used to be. Nigel, go give mommy her phone. But we do want that. But when you get that inside, you're good. So that's kind of where I'm going with this, y'all. Self-esteem. When you have your self-esteem intact, you won't find yourself in relationships where you have to be unsure and you have to be asking, and you're in this revolving circle of ups and downs and ups and downs. Relationships are not perfect. Marriage is very hard. I was married. Marriage is very hard. Marriage gives you what you give it. Marriage gives you what you give it. And it does not always work out. I have to be honest. I regret not still being with my children's father. He was my first love. He wasn't my first sexual experience, but I felt like it. But we were together for so long, and he was a great guy. He is still a great guy. But we grew apart. If we would have been more mature, if we would have thought about things, if we would have listened to the wise counsel of our elders and the people who tried to pour into our relationship, we would still be together. So I regret that. But it's done. It's what it is. We are still there for our children. Yes, she go, hey, babe. We're still there for our children who are adults now. But we can be cordial with one another. And we've always really been cordial with one another. But being together is not something that's ever going to happen. He moved on. He's married. I had moved on. I was married. So anyway. But when you realize you can't get it together, you have to really ask yourself, what is the root problem of this? Is it me? Or I'm trying to force a relationship with someone I have no business being with? Claudia said, it took the world to catch up to your beautiful greatness. It took the world. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. My sister always, that's my cheerleader right there, y'all. She always like, da, 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 da. So I appreciate her. I love you, sis. Thank you. So, but when we find ourselves being in relationships and being tied down to people who are not appreciative of who we are and not showing us our worth, nobody is perfect. We all have flaws. We all have issues. We all have times where we're not at our greatest point. We all have problems where football practice is over. Oh my gosh, we did get here late. We all have problems and issues that affect how we are and who we are today. Some of us have gone through some trauma. Some of us have dealt with some hurt. Some of us have dealt with some things that we tend to kind of take it out on others that come after. But what we have to learn is it's not something we can do. If we want healthy relationships with whomever, whether it's our significant other, whether it's someone we're dating and we're trying to see where that thing goes, we have to be mentally healthy. We have to be emotionally healthy. So if you find yourself in a pattern, if you find yourself consistently not being able to figure out, why am I on this train? Why am I still even here? Why am I dealing with this person day after day after day? If you can't figure that out, and you've done all you can, and you've done the things that you need to do to make sure you're doing your part, then maybe you need to get off the train. Maybe you need to tell the conductor, stop and let me off. So when we break this thing down, y'all, when we don't have that self-worth, when our self-esteem is low, when we're fear is not of God. So if we're fearing what can be and what won't be, then we have to question where we are to keep ourselves built up and strong. So I told y'all this was going to be short and sweet, like football rather. Sorry, practice has ended. He's over there with the team, so I'm gonna go until they get finished. He walked back out. So y'all, I appreciate y'all input. Like, y'all started right off the rip with me, and I appreciate that. But our subject was, why can't we get this thing together, and why don't we just get off this train? Now, I'm never the one to tell people to end their relationships. Never, never, never. Especially marriage. I think marriage is one of the most beautiful unions created. I feel like it was. So that's all right, Yashigo. Next Friday, babe. I got on a little bit late. I feel like marriage is the greatest union that's created. That one of the greatest unions. Well, it is the greatest because in my mind, in the way it goes, children come after. Children come after a union. Let me put it like that. Children come after the union. So you need the two first. So the union of marriage is such a beautiful, beautiful thing to me. And I would never, ever, ever say that I would not get married again. I do desire to be married again. I do desire to be in a loving, one-on-one relationship with my man. I do. And there's so many things that I have learned about myself. And there's so many things that I have learned about the opposite sex that are going to be conducive to a growing, flowing, wonderful marriage, wonderful relationship. Because there is life after death. You know they equate divorce to death, right? There is life after death. But you have to understand, you have to know who you are. You have to make sure that you're confident in yourself. You have to make sure that you're secure in yourself. So you won't get stuck on this train. You won't get stuck on this revolving nothingness. But again, I would never tell anybody to end their relationship. So if you find yourself on this train, if you find yourself in a position where it seems like nothing is working out and y'all always arguing, there are great components about y'all, but y'all always arguing, find that greatness in your relationship. Find that point where no matter what, you say, you know what, we're going to do this together, and we're going to do this the right way. We know we have differences. We know we have issues. But when you make a decision to do something and you set your mind to it and you have goals, it is going to happen. It is going to happen. I am a living witness that when you make a decision and you have a goal and you work toward it and you focus on it and you believe in yourself, it is going to happen. I started my business, y'all, with this. Those are zeros. I didn't get a loan from the bank. I didn't ask family members or people to borrow money. I stepped out on faith. True enough, my ex-husband had a wonderful job, and he took care of things where I wouldn't have to, but I started really, really tiny. I started as an in-home daycare provider. And my goal and vision from that was to have a larger facility and to build and to build and to build. And if it has not been done, and if it's not going to continue, this kingdom, this Donna kingdom has not ended. Like, it's continuing. But that's the point I'm making. When we put our mind to something, when we say this is going to work, when we say there's nothing going to stop me, it works. So when you and your partner get together and y'all say, yo, this train is derailing. This train is nonstop in the wrong direction. Every other day, every other week is something. Come to a meeting of the minds, y'all. Come together and talk about why you wanted to get on the train in the first place. Why? Claudia said, until you say, God, shut the door, close it, this relationship is not for me, and not be afraid, you may feel unsure. Yeah, most definitely. Queendom, thanks, sis. Most definitely. When you find yourself in that place, in that position where you just not sure and things are not working, you have to understand, is it time to get off, or is it time to really, really, really grind and make it happen? All right, y'all. Short and sweet. They are done. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Give me your comments and your thoughts. Yashigo said, I'm sorry, that's the problem there. If you can communicate, you will keep riding that train. If you can communicate, or if you can't. I think he wants to say can't. That's the problem there. If you can communicate, you can keep riding that train. I got you. If you can communicate, that's right, communication. If you can communicate, you can keep riding the train. But it's not going to be a train that's going to be derailed. It's not a train that's going to just be all over the place and you not sure of its destination. Know your train's destination. All right, y'all. Love you too, Corey. I will see y'all next week. Hey, send your thoughts, your suggestions, your comments, or whatever. But send your ideas. I like to get y'all ideas of the things that y'all like to discuss and we like to talk about, because this is an open forum. There is no right or wrong answer. This is you. This is your life. Share it with somebody. Love on each other. And have a good time doing it, y'all. All right. Love y'all. See y'all next week.